Hey, what up everyone, this is Mondo all day, back with another video. In this video, I'll be doing my Q&A number 4. I'll be answering a couple of questions you guys have been asking me regarding Marvel Heroes Omega and the PS4 version. So, let's get right into it. Before I get into it, this is a pre-recorded game footage of another game that I play, apart from Marvel Heroes Omega. It's called Warframe. It's a free-to-play game. It's really good. It's awesome. Again, it's free to play. I did make a couple videos regarding the intro guide in terms of how to get into Warframe, what to do, explaining some of the stuff in Warframe. So if you're interested in this game, again, it's free to play. It's a really awesome game, and yeah. So please excuse my aiming. I know my aiming is not the greatest in this game, but regardless, so I had a fun time playing this game. So let's get right into the questions. So the first question I get asked and I'm gonna answer is my opinion so far of the biggest update ever after several months. And so, honestly, I've been playing it for a couple of months now, and with several characters. All I gotta say about the biggest update, overall it's really good. I like it a lot. It's really good. It made, well, first thing is the visual updates on chapters was really good, and it was definitely needed. Some of the chapters look plain and simple and pretty boring and repetitive, obviously. But post biggest update ever, the stages and chapters look really good. I definitely like the visual updates. I hope they continue doing that throughout the whole entire game, because there's some patrol zones and areas that definitely need a visual update or change. But so far, in terms of the visuals, it's really good. Now, in terms of the characters and talents and traits, honestly, I think it's really good, because before the biggest update ever, there was a large gap between the OP characters and weak characters. For example, before the biggest update, Dr. Doom was probably considered to be one of the most OP characters, and one of the weakest characters was like Mr. Fantastic. And so what I mean by a big gap is that before biggest update, literally like hardly anyone played with Mr. Fantastic, and he was very weak to the point where not many people play with him, because you couldn't even pass Cosmic Trial, or if you could, but you have to be fully geared out Mr. Fantastic. But with Dr. Doom, you don't need to have really fully, decked out Dr. Doom to pass Cosmic Trial, and it was easily. And then now, post biggest update, they kind of reduced that gap, so now there isn't just one or two characters that are OP. It's like quite several that are I don't want to say OP, but it seems it's more balanced throughout all the characters. And to me, that takes like a lot of work, and so I can see where all the work was put on was just balancing all the characters. That way, it eliminates that gap, and everyone's more playable per se. So overall, I think it's really good. Biggest update, I enjoy it a lot. Yes, this game has bugs and glitches here and there. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not perfect, but overall, biggest update to me was really good. It was essential. It was definitely needed. I know I'm not the only one, but regarding the whole movement limitations, it still bothers me here and there. But honestly, if we just look past that and just appreciate everything else, it's actually not that bad as people say it. Even on the reviews for Steam, I was saying they're complaining that they don't like it. Honestly, it's not that bad. I would just say try it out, and if you just get used to it, like I did. I got used to it, accept it for what it is, and here I am now. I'm enjoying it. So kudos to you, Gazillion, for biggest update ever. Now the second question is Marvel Heroes Omega impressions. Now I was able to but borrow my brother's PS4 and get a chance to play Marvel Heroes Omega. Now that it's no longer in beta, and it's open beta, so anyone can download it. And so I've been playing it for a couple of hours, and so far what I've been playing, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's pretty good. Yes, there are some differences, and I'll go over the differences in a bit. But overall, it's pretty good. It's a good way to get into the game and to get a good feel of the game, and what it offers, and what do you do in the game, and so forth. But overall, it's pretty good. I mean, the good thing, it's free. So if you are listening to this and you're a console player, if you don't have a PC, try out Marvel Heroes Omega. It is free. So the worst case scenario is that you just waste up your time and a couple gigabytes or terabytes of your hard drive. But other than that, it's free. It's a free to play game. But some of the differences from what I've played so far, and again, I haven't really fully played the game several hours, just a couple. But from what I can tell, well, first thing is the graphics aren't the best. but it'll do. So the graphics compared to the PC, obviously, I don't want to start a whole console PC war, but we both know, I mean both, but everyone knows that the PC is superior in terms of graphics. But that's one thing that I noticed right away, that the graphics isn't the best for the PS4 version. It's still good, but it's not the best. There are no team-ups on the console version, so if you play in the PC, you'll have the option of, to utilize your team-ups, but in the console version, there is no team-ups. Also, heroes cost more with eternity splinters in the console version. From what I remember correctly, I think the cost for one hero is like 525, 575 eternity splinters, and on the PC is 400. Also, too, you get 38 or 39 characters on the console. The PC has 62, I believe. I can't remember. But the biggest difference so far is the UI, the user interface. It's really different compared to the PC. Some people may like it, some people don't. I'm in the middle. I like some of it, but I don't like some other things. So again, I'm right in the middle. But the biggest difference is the UI. Everything else so far seems the same. Just again, the UI is different. The chapters are basically the same thing from what I've played with so far. But yeah, the biggest difference is the UI. So if you are a PC player and you try the console, be warned that the UI would be really different. Some people may like it, some people may not. But for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. But that's probably the biggest thing is the UI. Now, one feedback I would have to give to Gazillion regarding the console version, and maybe I overlooked it or something, but there is no indication of the type of damage being dealt. Either it's energy, physical, or mental. I don't see it. I have unlocked Angela, and I looked at her powers, and nowhere did I see what type of damage she dealt. So maybe put that on there, because there's some people have been asking me in a couple of my videos regarding what does it indicate on the console version, the type of damage, and I thought it would be very similar to the PC, where if you look at the powers, it'll tell you right there the physical damage or mental or whatever. But I didn't see that, so maybe I overlooked it. So if you're a console player and you're watching this video or listening to this video, leave it in the comment section below. Where does it indicate what type of damage is being dealt? Because I honestly did not see it, so maybe I overlooked it or something. But another question, kind of goes into my second question, which is game footage, and would I be uploading game footage from the console version? And I'll be honest with you, as of right now, probably not. I mean, never say never, so I won't say no, or never will I. But as of right now, no, because I don't have a capture card, so there's no way for me to capture game footage of Marvel Heroes Omega for the console version. But so so if you're asking or wondering how come I don't upload any game footage for the console version, it's because I don't have a capture card, so there's no way for me to capture it and then edit it and so forth. So that's that. Another thing too, people have been commenting on my videos, which is kind of funny, but the game is now officially called Marvel Heroes Omega. So for those of you wondering that are console players are looking to build guides and cosmetic trials videos, the game is now called Marvel Heroes Omega throughout all platforms: Xbox, PS4, Mac, and PC. Now for the Mac and PC, I can't say for the Mac too much, but for the PC, they haven't updated their outlets regarding now the game being called Marvel Heroes Omega. And I say this with confidence because if you go to the website, which is I believe is marvelheroes.com or something, and you click on game info, it indicates right there that the game is called Marvel Heroes Omega and it's available for all platforms, and it gives their PS4, it names their PS4, Xbox, PC, and Mac. So for those of you who've been asking, this is not Marvel Heroes Omega. It is. They just haven't updated their outlets, all their outlets to indicate that the game is not Marvel Heroes Omega. So full disclosure, people have been commenting multiple times and I've been getting thumb down because, oh, this is not Marvel Heroes Omega. It is, but it's the PC version, and unfortunately the PC version is PC version's UI is way different than the consoles. So full disclosure, now you guys know that the game is now called Marvel Heroes Omega. Also too, another difference from what I've noticed and heard from other people is that in-game content. Now I'll be honest, I haven't reached there just yet, because I don't have a fully maxed out character or level to 60 character, but from what I've heard from other people, that there is not much endgame content on the console version. So that's that, but overall it's pretty good. It's just a good way to get into the game. And yeah, that answers that question regarding my PS4 impressions. So now the third question is, I've been getting asked, is which is better, the PC or the console version, and why? Now this is kind of a given. To the answer to this is PC, and I'll explain why. Well, for one, you get better graphics. Don't get me wrong, the console version is good, has great graphics, but the PC has better graphics. I mean, depending on the hardware you have, in terms of the GPU and so forth. So, but the availability there to have really good graphics on the PC is there. Just all depends on the computer and what you have, and what hardware do you have. Number two is the team-ups. There are team-ups in the PC version. There are tons. Now, Gazillion has stated that they will be adding team-ups to the console version, which if they do, that's great for console players. That's awesome. But to me, from what I've played so far, and this is the beta version on the console version, but when I was playing the console version, I noticed there was some dips in frames. So I was playing literally by myself, and then out of nowhere, it went from like 30 frames per second down to like in 20s or so. And so that's already a concern, because if the game is already having, frame drops, which is a single player, now imagine having a team up, which is going to hurt. It might even drop the frame rates even more. But again, this is the beta version for the console, so it could be, they can always patch up and they can always update it, but something just to be warned of. So that's that. For the PC version, you get more characters. On the console, you get 30, I think 38 or 39, and on the PC, you get like 62. So right there is a huge advantage on the PC. Also, too, the PC has more items to choose from, more artifacts, I believe it's more stages. I believe the console has up to chapter 8. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But for the PC, you get chapter 10. So that's that. Also, too, for the PC, and this is just my opinion, the UI, the user interface on the PC it's less complex. When I was playing the console version, when I want to look at the skill set, it takes a couple clicks, to look at the skill set and talents and traits. But what I like about the PC is that all you do is you hit the letter P on your keyboard, and boom, there's your skill sets and talents and traits. On the console version, you have to like click on one button, or the center thing, I don't know what it's called. As you can tell, I'm not really a console player. But you click on like a menu, and then you click on skill set, and then it shows you your skills. And then if you hit, I believe it's R1 or R2 to hit another tab, so you can look at your talents and traits. So it's not a big of a deal. It's just little extra things you have to push for. But on the PC, it's just click on the letter P on your keyboard, and boom, you get your skills set and talents and traits. And obviously it has different tabs for your affinity points and so forth. So that's that. And just to warn everyone, if you're trying to play on the PC, you don't need a high-end gaming rig or PC to play the game. I know this for a fact because one of my friends that plays Marvel Heroes in the PC version, he plays on his laptop that's like 5 years old, and it's not even a high-end gaming laptop, and he's able to play the game. Granted, he plays on low settings, but the purpose of what I'm trying to say is you don't really need a high-end, gaming rig. My advice is, if you have a PC or a laptop, download Steam and try it out download it and try it out. And if it works, honestly, I would say stick with the PC, because you get, as I mentioned, you get better graphics, team-ups, more characters, more items, and so forth, compared to the console. Now, if you're a console player and you do not have a PC, then honestly, play the console. The console version is perfectly fine. You're going to get the same experience. Yes, there will be some differences, but from the most part, you get the feel of the game, and you get the understanding of what Marvel Heroes is, and so forth, the gameplay, the mechanics, and everything. It's essentially the same game, just UI is different. So, just keep that in mind. It's the same game, but just the UI is different. Now, I did look at some of the talents and traits. From what I've looked so far, it seems like it's the same thing, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that just yet. I could be wrong, but from what I've noticed, it looks like it's the same thing. It's just the UI is different. But again, that's I would recommend the PC version over the console. But if you are a newer player and you don't have a PC or a laptop, if you have a console, that's perfectly fine. Stick with it, have fun with it, enjoy the game for what it is. If you want to support the developers, there you go. Definitely buy some G's. Another question: what kind of leads into? Yeah, I guess I'll add another bonus question because I was going to answer 3 questions, but the 4th question I get asked is, what would I recommend in terms of buying? If you have money to spend, what would you buy? I personally would buy. It's just a preference, but I would possibly, depending on the amount of money you have and you're going to spend, I would probably either buy the boosts or the stashes, the hero stash. But not just the hero stash by itself, but buy the hero pack, if that makes sense. The pack where I think you pay like, I don't know how much, but you pay like $5 or so, and you get the hero and the hero stash. Because this game, either console or PC, and soon to be Xbox, like the stashes are very essential in this game. You're gonna need a lot of stashes. How many will depend on you, how much you play, but stashes are important. So one of the first things I would recommend is, depending on how much money you have, either buy G so you can buy boost, or buy with money, buy the hero pack where it includes the hero stash and the character that you want. Because that way, when you get the hero, let's say you get Angela pack, for example, which includes Angela and her stash, at least you have a stash for Angela, so you can place some certain items in that and Angela's stash. Now, again, it's really up to you if you have money, so I'm not held responsible for anything, but that's what I would recommend. Or you can just buy the boost. Now, why the boost? If you get the combination boost, you get the best of all worlds. When you get the combination boost, you get not only the XP boost, the currency boost, and the shield, that shield boost that you generate, and then you get the box. And that shield box is pretty good if you get lucky. And I say this because I have on the PC quite several, I think a full stash of just those shield boxes, and out of I think maybe 20 or 25 that I've opened, only one of them gave me really good, I got a good big loot. What I mean by that is I got a good artifact, I got a pet, I got a, what do you call it, a character token, meaning I get a free character, and a couple other items. So again, that's if you're lucky. But the good thing about the boost is that when you get the boost, combo boost, you get XP boost, so you can level up faster, and you get more infinity points. You get currency boost, meaning that every time you defeat an enemy or boss, you get an Odin marks and so forth. You get more currency, and just overall, it's a better experience. You kind of in a way level up a little faster. So that's the 2 things I would recommend. Either you get the hero pack or just get the combination boost. But anything else, I probably wouldn't recommend buying. Like the pets, I probably would recommend it because you can easily get the pets with the combination boost. I'm about to hit up in the PC version. I'm about to hit a full stash of just pets, and I have no idea or no use for them because all my heroes have their own individual pet. So I have just stacks of pets. So that's where I'm at right now. But yeah, so that's what I recommend. So yeah, that concludes my Q&A number 4. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. Any questions at all you guys want me to answer regarding Marvel Heroes Omega or any questions, leave it in the comment section below. I'm always up to answering a couple of questions. I'm an open book. And that concludes my Q&A number 4. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys enjoy this gameplay footage of Warframe. Again, it's free to play. I highly recommend it. I enjoy this game a lot. I have quite, like, I think 300 or 400 hours playing this game. And also a good friend of mine named King Vox on YouTube. He has a great channel. He plays as well too. So I highly recommend playing this game. Alrighty, so this concludes my Q&A number 4. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. On to the next one. Bye-bye.